It's time to review some Sagat gameplay. Let's go. Damn. He looks kind of different. I mean, honestly, I kind of like the redesign. Wasn't expecting it. Wait, what? Oh no, there's been a terrible mistake. Hold on, take two, we're starting this again. I don't know how that got in there. Alright, here we go, Sagat gameplay trailer. This is the right one. So yeah, the Sagat gameplay trailer, as I'm sure you guys all know, has dropped. So today we're going to do our usual breakdown of the gameplay. For me personally, Sagat is usually not my kind of character because I absolutely suck at DP anti-airs, and that's kind of a thing you need to be good at to play this character. So I was kind of like meh on Sagat, but I actually think this is a really good trailer, and it did actually, you know, it made my excitement go from like meh to like, okay, I see what you're cooking, Sagat. I like what I'm seeing. We're also going to be referring back a lot to a Steam blog post, so we're going to be using that as well. As always with these videos, I recommend you watch the trailer yourself first, because this is not going to be a reaction video. I'm going to assume you've already seen the trailer. It's going to be more like a breakdown of my thoughts on the character, things that I think look cool, and things that could potentially be strong. So, let's start.
The man who reached the pinnacle of Muay Thai, and then became one of the Grand Masters of an international terrorist organization. The Emperor Sagat.
I like his stage. His stage is really cool. Alright, I know I've got to pause like instantly. Very first thing I want to say, just in terms of visual design, I love that they've made him lanky again. One of my biggest complaints about what happened to Sagat, especially in Street Fighter 4, is that he got too wide. Because the thing about Sagat is he's a Muay Thai fighter, and that's all about using long limbs, long kicks, long like elbow strikes and stuff like that. Like, Muay Thai characters are usually made very tall and thin. They're very lanky. It's all about having long reach. So I really like that he's got, obviously he's still pretty muscly, but he's not anywhere near as like heavy looking and like bulky as he was in Street Fighter 4. I like lanky Sagat. God damn. Speaking of lanky, are you guys seeing these buttons? Just the range on these things. Immediately. Bam. Stand Fierce from downtown. We've got, I'm assuming, Stand Fierce, which also has a target combo, so you can get a knockdown there. Then we get this new normal, which I'm assuming that's Crouch Heavy Punch. It's a 2-hit normal, and it also launches. It might be a command normal, we're not sure, but it's definitely a new one. He hasn't had that before. And then we get this. This is kind of interesting to me. This is one of the first things I want to highlight. So this right here is, I'm assuming, his crouch medium kick. It's a weird looking crouch medium kick. It doesn't really look like his traditional crouch medium kick. The stance is a little bit different. The body shape is a little bit different. And I don't think at any point in this trailer do we see him special cancel this move. And that's not to say that he doesn't have a special cancelable crouch medium kick. But this is kind of a big question mark for me right now. Like, is he going to be a low forward drive rush character? If you guys don't know, they've been nerfing his crouch medium kick in like pretty much every single game. So like Street Fighter 5, his crouch medium kick was like hilariously slow. I think it was like, wasn't it like 11 or 12 frames startup? It was one of the worst crouch medium kicks in the game. I mean, yeah, I'm assuming stand medium kick, heavy kick target combo that looks like. Get a sweep. That's his classic overhead, which means he's going to have drive rush overhead, which is always good. We got jump fierce, I'm assuming. And then we got the forward throw. He animates so nicely. I really like his animations in this game. And then I'm assuming this is forward light kick or forward medium kick. Now, the input for this changes game to game, this thing. Traditionally, these kinds of normals that Sagat has are usually Kara cancelable. If you guys don't know, one of the things that like is historically associated with Sagat is his Kara cancels. So usually normals like forward heavy kick, forward medium kick, forward light kick, any normal where Sagat like steps forward into a kick, usually you can Kara cancel them to like DP from half screen and stuff. I don't think we saw any Kara cancels as far as I know in this trailer. Did I miss it? No Kara cancels. Yeah, I didn't see any, but that's not to say again that they don't exist, but they might have taken the Kara cancels out of his kit. Let me get the back throw. Alright, now it's time for some good old-fashioned Tiger shots, and we get the level 1 super. So they make a point of showing that his level 1 has more hits than Ryu's level 1. So it wins the super versus super, and then the high Tiger shot. And then this. Tiger knee. This like reeled me back in my seat when I first saw this. They made the Tiger knee go over fireballs, which it pretty much never does. And also, let's talk about a couple of those specials. I just went over them real quick from the video, but there's a lot more to go through here. And I'm going to say one thing I did actually think was kind of disappointing. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but here's what they've done to Tiger shots, Sagat's iconic projectiles. They have actually changed the inputs for these in a way that means that there is not 3 different versions of high and low. Traditionally in Street Fighter, high Tiger shot has 3 different speeds, light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, and low Tiger shot has 3 different speeds, light kick, medium kick, heavy kick, which makes his zoning patterns very irregular. He's got, effectively, he used to have like 6 different fireballs because of that, not even including EX and stuff. What they've done in this game is they've actually made it so that quarter circle forward, medium punch, and heavy punch will do high Tiger shot. So he has 2 different speeds of high Tiger shot, and he only has 1 speed of low Tiger shot. So that's quarter circle forward, light punch. But this is a bit of a shame. I would say this is probably the biggest disappointment from the Sagat stuff. Most of it's pretty cool, but I don't know. Sagat is all about Tiger shot and Tiger uppercut. That is kind of his game plan. But only having effectively 3 different versions of his fireball when he used to have 6 is a bit of a shame. And the other thing to mention is Tiger knee. We saw it go over a projectile. We saw it go over the fireball a second ago. They also do mention hitting with the very tip of the knee makes this move plus on block. So if your spacing is good, not only can this thing go over fireballs, if you hit it late, it can also be plus, which is pretty damn good. We get jump medium punch, which juggles. I think that pretty much always does. Alright. This is where things get crazy. The follow-up? I think this is the best animation he has. I'm just going to play this at full speed. And then it wall slumps as well. God damn. Okay, there's a lot to break down here. So, we start off with an anti-air, I think forward heavy kick. This looks like his forward heavy kick, which is usually slower but more juggle friendly. And then he cancels it into charged uppercut. So they've given him the Kami treatment. YouTube is actively just recommending me the Punk video right now. I'm sure Punk likes this because I can understand the Kami to Sagat pipeline. Both of those characters in this game have been given like charged DPs for combos. But the difference with Sagat's is that his charged DP has this insane animation. Can we talk about this wind-up animation? It's so good. And then he kicks you to the corner. And then you wall slump. Insanely high up. I'm assuming, it doesn't show it here, but I'm assuming you can like level 1 from full screen after this. This is very similar to Luke's EX Sandblast. So you probably get some kind of juggle there. Alright, it's time to talk about the thing that upset me. You guys know me, right? You guys know that I'm a Jinrai hater. This hurt my feelings. Jinrai is one of the most unpleasant moves in this game, and it looks like Sagat has been given a sort of Jinrai-ish thing. I think this is based off his V-Trigger 2 from Street Fighter V, loosely, and they mention how it works in the blog post. So, the move itself is called Tiger Nexus, and it has 3 different follow-ups. So it's got Mighty Tiger, which is an overhead. It's got Greedy Tiger, which is plus on block but whiffs on crouches. And then this one, which is Nova Tiger. It says this hits both standing and crouching opponents, launches enemies in the air, and is also plus on block. When I was reading through this list, I thought it would be like, it's got a high follow-up, a low follow-up, and a frame trap, like Jinrai. But rather than that, it was like, it's got a high follow-up that's plus, a mid follow-up that's also plus, and an overhead. And I was like, what? I have to assume there's some big downside to this move, because otherwise, the way that they've written it makes it sound like it's Jinrai but plus on block, which there's no way Capcom would be insane enough to do that. I assume this, maybe it's vulnerable to DI, maybe it's not good as a frame trap, you can probably interrupt somewhere in the middle, I assume. It could end up being amazing, it could end up being gimmicky. We have to see the fine details on this one, I think. Alright, so this is the other follow-up. That's the launcher. So this is, we were talking earlier about we weren't sure what the input for the button was. I assume this must be his Crouch Fierce. This looks like his like CVS2 style Crouch Fierce. It looks like it has good range, but also this is special cancelable. That's kind of crazy. If you guys don't know, the entire meta of CVS2 is spamming this button. Like, this is the button in CVS2, and in that game it's not special cancelable. It's just such a good poke. This could be one of his best buttons. So there we get, I think that's forward heavy kick. And then we get, I was gonna say the level 2. We get a level 2. I'll play this one at full speed as well. Alright, a couple of things to say about this level 2. We'll get into it as the video progresses, but he actually has 4 different versions of his level 2, which all have different properties. The closest comparison right now, I would say, is like Zangief. It's kind of like Zangief's level 2. So this first one, this is Tiger Raid, and this is basically, as far as I know, this is the damage ender. So if you just want to prioritize max damage, you do this one. The Tiger Raid super hasn't been seen in a long time. I think this used to be his super in Alpha, if I remember rightly. That thing. But yeah, this used to be one of his supers in older games, but it hasn't been, I don't think this has been in any recent Street Fighter game, so it was cool to see this one come back. And we get the classic costume. That's a good freeze frame. Oh my god. I don't know what to make of this. You only see it for a second here. I'm gonna slow this down. His drive rush looks shockingly fast. That might just be like artificially fast because it's also getting the forward heavy kick momentum, but that looks like a pretty good drive rush. But the one thing I did notice is that when you first start the drive rush, if you watch Sagat closely, he's got one of those ones that doesn't start very quickly. Like, notice the drive rush starts here, but he doesn't start moving like at all for a little bit. Like, he does like a little stance and then starts moving. So I think his drive rush is fairly quick once it's moving, but it does have like a noticeable pause at the beginning. Alright, so we get the EX version of Tiger Jinrai. Into DP. Can I just say, I'm really happy that this trailer shows repeatedly that his regular DP is good in juggles. One of the greatest crimes of Street Fighter V Sagat. I'm just gonna go on a rant real quick about Street Fighter V Sagat. Sorry if this bothers you. Street Fighter V Sagat is such a bad version of this character, and one of the greatest crimes they committed when they were designing Street Fighter V Sagat is that for some reason his DP had no juggle potential in that game. Like, in Street Fighter V, you constantly had to spend EX or Angry Scar charges just to finish combos. It was so dumb. So I'm glad to see that, like, his regular DP is back to being a combo ender. Actually, speaking of which, I don't think Angry Scar exists anymore. That's another thing that's worth mentioning. It seems like Angry Scar is gone. which he had in 4 and 5. High Tiger, Low Tiger, and then EXDPs. The Psycho Crusher. Neutral jump shimmy. Jump fierce. Crouch fierce. EX Tiger Shot. And then level 2 again. But this time, the level 2 has changed. Can I also say that I really like that all versions of the level 2 start with this, like, clinch? So, like, if you guys don't know, like, Muay Thai has a lot of stuff like this. There's a lot of, like, sort of pseudo-grappling in Muay Thai, and Sagat's never really used any of that stuff. This is the first time seeing this in slow motion. I didn't realize the expressions Sagat was making during this super. Holy shit. His animations are brutal in this game. Oh, it's not even a punch, it's the elbow. I just realized. I thought it was a punch. He's elbowing you in the back of the head. Alright, so anyway, the point being, this version of the level 2, so this one does less damage, but in exchange, as you can see here, this one gives you really good Oki. So you just slam your opponent into the floor and you're basically point blank. So if you want to prioritize Oki, you use this version. You get jump medium kick, I'm assuming. It's weird that that juggles. Cross up jump light kick. Stand medium punch. Crouch jab. EX low shot. Blocks the scissors. And then does stand jab drive rush. Now this is actually really interesting for me. Bison's scissors is -5. And it does, as you guys I'm sure are aware, 200,000 miles of pushback on block. Capcom, please nerf this asshole. There are very, very few characters who can punish scissors at this distance on the -5. This is usually reserved for, like, Ken stand light kick, Ed crouch light kick, a couple others if you're lucky. This stand jab reaches from here, and it looks disjoint as fuck. Like, he's just punching thin air. Have they given this guy an amazing stand jab? This is actually, I will say, after just shitting on Street Fighter V Sagat, the one cool thing they gave Sagat in Street Fighter V was his stand jab was actually, like, secretly amazing. It was one of the best long-range lights in the game. So they seem to have kept that intact. Alright, level 2, version 3. What have we got this time? So it goes with the clinch, and then starts kneeing you in the chest. And then throws you backwards. So, this ender, number 3 on the level 2, this one's a side switch. So if you want to steal back the corner, this is the one you use. Again, kind of similar to Zangief. And then finally, the final level 2 version. This is the 4th version of level 2. And probably the most interesting one. You get elbowed in the face a bunch of times, and then you get launched, and Sagat can continue the combo here. I was not ready for this. So he gets a launch, and then gets 2 EX high tiger shots into full screen level 1. That's pretty cool. I should mention that all versions of his level 2 are also invincible. Get the launcher, late hit on the Tiger Knee, into DP, into level 3. And there you go, the level 3. I think this level 3 is a little bit of a mixed bag for me. I feel like the DP at the end is maybe a tiny bit underwhelming, but in exchange for that, this one kick where it, like, breaks his leg is insane. That one. Jesus Christ. This is like a Mortal Kombat move, this one. They even make, like, the leg-breaking sound. I think they really went all in on making, like, Sagat's moves seem, like, as brutal as possible in this game. He is a lot less cartoony than he used to be. That's Sagat. Like I said, I'm not a huge Sagat fan. He's not really my kind of character, but even then, I still think this is a really good trailer. I think he's really well animated. I'll give him a try when he comes out. early August. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of this Sagat gameplay trailer down in the comments section below, and I will see you all in the next video.